Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Biohazard 2 Real Survival. In the last episode, we finally managed to make our way back to Marvin Branner, but unfortunately we weren't able to save him from turning into a zombie, and thus had to put him out of his misery the same way that we did with Brad Vickers. We also cleared the ruined corridor with the C4, and ran into none other than the rather corrupt Chief of Police Brian Irons. And we stumbled upon the girl that we ran into earlier. Apparently her name is Sherry. And that's it for this opening recap. Now, actually going to a very dangerous place here, so I want to be ready. Might want to take an extra herb with me, and might keep the current arsenal that I've got at the moment. Just making sure. Definitely don't want to take those acid rounds just yet. But the place that we're going to now is the door in the eastern office, the one that leads to the underground. Yeah. Fortunately, we now have the key in our possession, thanks to Brian Irons, who apparently kept it in his possession, even though it was supposed to be in the western office where Marvin was. But he was nice enough to actually leave it for us to take, so even if he is completely crazy. There were also two green doors, which I can only surmise through process of elimination are the remaining suit of the card motif, which is the club keys. And believe it or not, well, we've pretty much explored pretty much all of the, or most of the police station, which something tells me that I'm going to have to search the underground, which is ultimately going to be our next destination anyway. So, sure my weapon is equipped. I'm actually going to go out the other way and make my way downstairs, because that's pretty much that pretty much puts me right at the eastern corridor. And going back out here, even though I probably said I never would, this will definitely be the last time that I do this. I'm pretty sure of it. Sounds of wailing zombies outside still. And believe it or not, this is the only use for the heart key. But should be fine. We've got a reasonable amount of ammo in our inventory, and lo and behold, herbs. Pair of herbs. I will take one and combine it, and I will, I think I will rather prudently leave the other one just in case, when I decide to come back. Save you for later. And that is the sound of broken glass, and that is the sight of broken windows. Yeah. Narrow corridor with broken windows. That's not ominous at all. Because, yeah, this corridor is essentially the same as the one on the west side of the precinct. Lo and behold, an open and close switch for the shutter. It can't be activated since the cord is cut. We found a cord that we used on the west corridor, and unfortunately that just so happens to be the only cord that I believe that we can find in the precinct, and that is the club key that I mentioned. The club door that I mentioned earlier. So, readying ourselves as we prepare to descend to the underground via concrete steps. And there is a sound that I was anticipating for a while. The sound of clacking claws. And there he is, the zombie Doberman. Back here. Deal with you, ooh, you are taking... Oh god. You took more shots than I thought. Why are you... You definitely took more shots than I remember, and I'm actually low on actually running out of handgun ammo here. Where are you? I know you're running around somewhere. I can hear you. Nope, he's just going to run around aimlessly, and there he is, and ooh, there's two of them. There are two of them. I'm gonna run out this door. Oh goody, more dogs. And lo and behold, there's a another green might has probably should have taken that other green herb, to be honest, but that's unfortunately my mistake. Oh, I am not doing so hot for ammo after all. I'm gonna have to make a run for it. Oh, dogs jumping down all over the place from above. I'm going to have to avoid those dogs. And we appear to be in a underground area. Rather ominous. Looks like they were developing this for maintenance, but fence is broken. And it's too small for an adult to enter. Well, if Sherry has any sense, then she won't be waiting down here. This is the last place someone like her should be. And a typewriter with an ink ribbon. conveniently placed in front of it. At least I didn't have to bring that over, but unfortunately, yeah, definitely unfortunately, I can't actually take items from this particular item box. For all intents and purposes, the item box in this room is effectively empty. Because, you know, need I remind you, this is being done on real survival. And I know I said in the previous episode that I wasn't going to save here, but yeah, just I'm feeling incredibly paranoid, adventurers. I know that I've wasted ammunition and ink ribbons, but them's the breaks, I'm afraid. So that was fairly useless.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried. We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not that, Claire. It's because of my daddy. He's over there. I heard him call my name. Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
Wait, Sherry, don't go alone. Sherry! Sherry!
As if the situation couldn't get any worse, adventurers. Lo and behold, we are actually now joining the path of Sherry Birkin, who conveniently has been gifted a first aid spray, surprisingly. And her only key item appears to be a photo, a picture taken fairly recently, as the description says. Appears to be a photo of her with her parents. And she said that she heard her father mention her name, which is rather ominous, but then again, Sherry did actually mention that they actually work at the Umbrella Chemical Plant in Raccoon City, which essentially means that they are actually employees of the Umbrella Corporation. Now, the bad news is that we're with Sherry now, and she is a 12-year-old student of Raccoon City, and she has no weapons whatsoever. Going up this ominous elevator to somewhere, and that clacking sound means the sound of more dogs. Now, Sherry being a child, ooh, I got hit by both those dogs, but oh. Not good. I just got in there. That's fairly unfortunate. But well, we're in a room of some kind, some sort of treatment room, and unfortunately the shutter is down and Sherry can't reach it. But there are some grenade rounds, which will be useful to Claire, completely useless to Sherry. Now, Sherry got a glimpse of something as she was running away. There appears to be a what vaguely looks like a door at the to the left of the room that she's currently in. So, we have to brave the dogs. So we basically have to go back over that bridge and go left. This is going to be fun. Fun indeed. Oh. Run. Run away. Run. Run towards that door. Well, at least Sarah only got grazed once more. Unfortunately, she is on caution now, but I do not intend to use that first aid spray. And there's a sewage disposal map. We take it? Yes, we shall. Unfortunately, the map is not entirely that useful because we get a map of the part of the sewage disposal plant that Sherry clearly cannot get to. But we're in a room here that apparently has a lever to fill and drain water. And Sherry is tall enough so that she can actually use the switch. So let's use it. Lo and behold, this appears to be a water puzzle. Unfortunately, Sherry cannot cross said water puzzle. But notice those crates. Something about them looks eerily familiar. Back down they go. Yep, we're going to have to move those crates to make a water bridge of some kind. And unbeknownst to Sherry, a certain member of STARS actually had to do this once before. Because on these crates are stamped the name of one of Umbrella's dummy corporations, or affiliate corporations, Zombie. Or at least I'm assuming that they're affiliated with Umbrella. But fortunately these crates appear to be empty, so that Sherry can actually push them. Although she is not quite as agile when it comes to climbing crates, but I guess I have to push that one a little bit further forward. It's basically the same as the Neptune in the Aqua Ring in the Arclay Mansion, which is basically what I was getting at. I'll just shove this over here, and I'll have to push the second crate further left, otherwise I won't be able to move the third crate. But this puzzle is just as straightforward, and those two are neatly lined up. Now for the third. Yeah, and hopefully whatever is in here is useful enough so that we can actually put it to good use. And we still have to actually get past the dogs. Now, one thing to note about the dogs in Biohazard 2 is that they are actually just they are actually regular zombie dogs as opposed to Cerberus bioorganic weapons, or BOWs. Hooray, we can now solve the rather simplistic water puzzle. Yeah, that's the puzzles. I know the puzzles in Biohazard 2 are simpler, but they kind of feel a bit lackluster to me. And lo and behold, the final precinct key, the club key, which was being kept here at the sewage disposal plant. Claire was never going to find that key. And before we leave, Sherry is going to look at her trusty map. Basically, run straight and then lift to the elevator. I do hope that I don't have to use that first aid spray. Just have to get past that dog. Because the dog is right there. Oh. Oh no. Panicking there, but I think Sherry got grazed 5 times. At least those dogs didn't make mincemeat of her.
Claire, are you there?
Sherry, are you okay? Did you find your dad?
Yes, I'm okay. But I couldn't find him. But I did find something else for you. Here. Here's another.
Thanks, sweetie. Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire, I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way. I can take care of myself.
Wait, Sherry, come back! Sherry! Sherry!
And she runs off in the direction that the dogs were, because that's the only way out of there. She did conveniently give us these items here, and probably actually should have stored those ink ribbons away. Hopefully those items don't somebody doesn't take those items when come back for them, because that would be irritating as all hell. And I know I probably wasted a save, but that's okay. That's alright. It always pays to be cautious. Biohazard 2 is no exception. Lo and behold, they're still there. That is fantastic. As soon as Claire can pick them up. Of course, she'll pick up the precinct key first, and then pick up the grenade rounds. So, thank you very much, Sherry. And I think we can actually conserve those flame rounds, just in case. Now that we have the club key in our possession, we can finally wrap up the police station, or the last few rooms in the police station, and get the hell out of Dodge. Of course, speaking of which, we have to run by the dogs. Oh, Jesus. Jesus wept. I am so lucky I dodged those dogs. That isn't a dog. Where did the dogs go? I don't know. But who replaced the dogs with lickers? That's what I want to know. Ooh. I can fire at you at a distance. Take that. And that eerie sound is another one. Where are you? I'm gonna wait for you to crawl around. I know you're somewhere. Is it coming towards me or going away from me? I'm not making any noise, so it should know that I'm here, seeing as how I killed its companion. But, Yeah. Hopefully you're not crawling on the wall. There you are, you're all the way down there. I can't afford to miss you. You're gonna know that I'm here eventually. Now that's how it's done. That's how, yeah, that is how it's done. Let's see what this door is. Autopsy room. We've used the precinct key. I don't think I want to go in that room just yet, especially with a name such as Autopsy, which is probably what you would expect in a police station. But going through these large metal doors here, and we're apparently in the underground power room, and there is a herb. Oh. Probably going to have to leave that herb behind. Hate leaving herbs behind, but nothing I can do about that. That's just the position I find myself in, and there appears to be some, well, several forms of machine apparatus, but I thought I could examine that, but there is something here, a reserve power control panel. Power can be routed to the areas with insufficient power using these 5 switches. Using all the power may cause a short and cut the power supply. It's a switch. We can move them up or down. Now, this puzzle is somewhat interesting, given the fact that, well, clearly we can go up to 100, but if we go over 80, which appears to be the limit, as it's so helpfully indicating to us, we could actually break the power. But notice that the top of the switches are all marked 36, and the bottom of the switches are each marked 14. So if we press up, it will switch to, the needle will go up to 36, and if we go down, the meter will will go down by 14. And we did up, down, now we go up again, and go down, we go up, and I pulled that one out of my hat. Actually, I think there are several combinations in which one can actually get 80 through mathematically putting together 36 and 14. A police station basement 1 map. Will we take it? Yes, we shall. Is there anything else here? But let's have a look at this map. Well, it's actually a fairly compact looking underground here. And getting the right amount of power activated something that is of great interest, or will soon be of great interest to us. And that is over here. Because lo and behold, this is the weapon storage area. Unfortunately, it is electronically locked. there's a card reader on the left, which was unpowered until we actually turned it on, as indicated by the green light. Unfortunately, the card in question is still missing, and we still have to find it. It appears to be a parking garage over here. What will we find behind this door? Well, a parking garage, obviously, but one that is surprisingly eerily abandoned. I mean, there are all the police cars, which I'm surprised there are still several here, considering the amount of police officers and cars in Raccoon City, and there appears to be an armored van here, probably for the RPD's SWAT unit. The handbrake is loose, but I can't move it alone. Apparently it's blocking a door of some kind, but unfortunately we can't use it. And we can't go any further because the car shutter is down. Probably for the best, because if there are any zombies to the rear, to the rear of this building, they would essentially be able to flood down here, and that would not be a good thing. I mean, granted, they wouldn't be able to get out of the parking lot, but really wish I could take those 2 herbs. I might come back for them later. I might have to do a little bit of backtracking at some point, but that's how it is. In fact, I might actually have to do some backtracking beforehand, because I have a incredibly loaded inventory there, almost said infantry there, which probably would have been fitting given the situation. So, back upstairs we go. I'm going to leave the ominously titled autopsy room for last, and fortunately there haven't appeared to be any zombies down here. And I actually think that there's one we can unlock this club key, which means that there's one locked room left in the precinct that we actually have to get to. And lo and behold, a normal room, finally. Oh wow, newspapers. More than a week old. They might actually tell us something useful. This appears to be, could very well be a break room, but don't carry any more items because of ink ribbons. Nothing in this locker. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. And, appears to be a dead man lying here. His throat and abdomen have been torn out, and appears he's not reanimating into a zombie, but what is that I spy on the cabinet that I cannot carry with me? Acid rounds. Lo and behold, acid rounds. And appears to be something on one of these bunk beds here. Watchman's diary. I'm guessing our poor unfortunate friend is the watchman in question. August 11th. I finally had the chance to see blue skies for the first time in ages, but it did little to lift my spirits. I was reprimanded by the chief for neglecting my duties while I was up on the clock tower. There's only one thing I still don't understand. There are many things that people do not understand about Brian Irons. The chief seemed to be more concerned about the fact that I was up on the tower rather than I was neglecting my duties. Why was access to the tower prohibited in the first place, anyway? That is a very good question. And this is probably a hint as to one of our next destinations after we're done with the underground. September 5th. I recently talked to the old man who works in the scrapyard out back. His name is Thomas. He's a quiet man and really seems to enjoy chess. He even went so far as to design a special key and lock engraved with chess pieces on them for one of the doors in the disposal yard. Who senses a puzzle coming on? I do. We made plans to play chess tomorrow night. I can't help but wonder how good he is. One thing that's been bothering me about him is the way he's always scratching himself. Does he have some sort of skin disease, or is he just rude? Throwback to the keeper there. September 9th. Thomas was a much better player than I had imagined. I used to think of myself as a fairly decent player, but he did a pretty good job of humbling me. About the only thing I imagine that could match his appetite in chess, or match his skills in chess, is his appetite. Getting ahead of myself there. All the guy did was talk about food throughout the entire game. He sounded fairly healthy, but he didn't look quite right. I wonder if he's okay. September 12th. I was supposed to play another game of chess with Thomas, but we had to cancel it because he hasn't been feeling too well. He stopped by to see me, but I told him to go back and rest since he literally looked like the Walking Dead. Wonder why. He insisted that he was fine, but I could tell he was really having problems. Come to think of it, I haven't been feeling too good myself lately. So something has definitely been going on in Raccoon City, which could be the work of the T-virus. In fact, it is the work of the T-virus. But Watchman's diary has been filed. And unfortunately, I have to actually end this episode a little earlier than I originally intended because a prompt has appeared saying that I need to restart my laptop, which is most annoying, but what can you do? So, in the next episode, Adventurers, I'm actually going to do some more item management before returning to the underground and braving the autopsy room. Because he was certain that bad things are going to happen in a room labeled autopsy in a ruined police station in Biohazard 2. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.